Hello, it's Andrine, a Jewish American priestess, and we're coming into a blue moon tomorrow by one definition. I looked up a lot of interesting history about the blue moon this morning. In this particular definition, it's about having two full moons in one Gregorian calendar month. And but generally it means something that's rare or that doesn't occur very often. You may have heard the phrase, this happens once in a blue moon, or I haven't seen you in a blue moon. And that goes way back to the 16th century, where it was considered an impossible thing, a blue moon. But then after a variety of volcanic explosions made the moon actually turn blue in the 1800s, it became known just as a rare event. And it's not always, it wasn't really until 1947, I think it was, that the blue moon was considered this calendrical thing, where it happens regularly with some kind of predictability. The Farmer's Almanac of 1937 said that it was that once every, if you had 13 moons in the year, then that would be, it would make it difficult to calculate certain liturgical holidays. There's just a variety of definitions around it. The way we're going to look at it today is I have 4 oracle cards out here on the table. I went through many of my decks and I found the moons that seemed most appropriate for today. And you'll be able to choose one of these cards, one or more of these cards, to get a reading with the Hebrunes that has to do with second chances. Because this full moon that shows up twice in one calendar month, we're talking about having the ability to have a second illumination on an issue or a second chance to start again. So that's what we're going to do today. We have these 4 cards out on the altarpiece, and I've got my candles lit. I think we're set. There's 4 cards, as I said, from 4 different decks, and I'll introduce you to each of them, and then I'll put the timestamps below in the description so that you can choose which one you'd like to go to, or if you want to go to more of them or listen to all of them, that is also totally fine. So we'll start with number 1. And this is, I'll just show you the card and then we'll talk about it within the reading. This is card number 1. For pile number 2, or card number 2, we're looking at this image. For card number 3, we have this card. And for card number 4, we have this card. And as always, I'll put the names of the decks in the descriptions also. So take a moment, if you need to pause the video, and choose which one of these cards you would like to get a reading about for your second chance in this blue moon time. Card number 1, card number 2, card number 3, card number 4. Find your timestamp down below, and I will see you in your separate readings. Welcome, card number 1. We have the moon card from this particular deck from the Dreamtime reading cards by Laura Brown, which is about the ancient spirits of nature in Australia. So I will read a little bit from the book about this particular moon card, which is number 21 in the book, and it says secrets at the bottom. Although in a lot of traditional societies the moon is associated with femininity, I have always known it as being male. It's because of this fact that it is associated with secrets and mystery. Traditionally, what we call men's business and women's business were gender-specific and not shared with those of the opposite gender. The moon is very powerful. It controls the cycles of the oceans and the female womb. During the full moon, it offers periods of illumination. As it wanes to the dark moon, the earth is once again returned to darkness and questioning. The moon is a messenger offering knowledge that life continually cycles. You may never have all the answers or understanding of why things happen the way they do, but you can be assured the cycles continue as the moon moves through its phases. At a time of feeling unsure, it may be wise to remember your personal power and your own inner light. Take action and responsibility for the life you are living. The moon represents a time for making intentions and for seeking answers and acknowledging your own power. Secrets, the moon. I'm going to set this up here at the top of our altar. Actually, I'm going to go get a card holder so it'll be stable. Okay, let's see. If I put that there, can we see it? Yes. Okay, perfect. I'm going to take a sip of my water. And then we're going to do a reading about what kind of second chances will you have with regards to this blue moon that we're in right now as we move into the weekend. So, and because it's about secrets and about the binary of the masculine and feminine, which is important in reproduction, and yet a complete construct when it comes to societal things. What is secret for you? What's been hiding? And what is it that gives you a second chance to express yourself in a way that maybe you're unfamiliar with? Maybe we can learn some of those secrets as we stir up our Hebrunes, and we're going to place them down. So let's do a full moon shape. Yeah, let's see what comes up today. At the top we have Het. To the right we have Beit. In the lower right, we have Gimel. At the bottom, Kaf. In the lower left, Lamed. In the upper left, Kuf. Okay, we're going to read these in a circle today. This is very much the similar shape to the Star of David reading I do. So I'm going to read them in those positions, but it's going to be a different reading because it's this full blue moon reading, and we're going to talk about second chances. So starting at the top, we have the letter Het. And Het is the letter that represents life. It's the first letter of the word Chai. And so maybe you have a new chance at life here, whatever it might be. Het is also the first letter of the word darkness, meaning which is Choshech. And so we have these secrets, the life and the darkness. And in the darkness is where we keep our secrets a lot of the time. We have maybe been keeping some secrets. Perhaps that's what's up for you, or someone's been keeping secrets from you. You've been kept in the dark to some extent. But in the dark is when we see the moon. It's when we are illuminated in this fullness. So I get the sense that somebody has been keeping secrets, or you have been keeping secrets from someone. And that it's time to have a second chance to be illuminated, that those secrets are going to come to light, and that we'll have a chance to start again. That's our first letter. As we move to the right, we have the letter Beit. Beit is the house or the home. It can also be the body, some kind of building, a shul, or even an office space. But it's where we live, where we dwell. So it could be something physical, could be something to do with just your environment. So something in your environment is coming to light. And it's something to do with your home or your place of business, the people with whom you are close and intimate in that space. Some secret has been hidden in the darkness in your home or workspace, and it is now coming to light. And Beit is the number 2 in Gematria, so It does have to do with those second chances. It's the first letter of Torah, even though it's the second letter of the alphabet. So the second letter gets a first chance in this case. Also in Torah, oftentimes we'll see the second son is elevated to the place of inheritance. So it could be that even though things seem like they are defeated, that this is an ending, Beit comes in with a new beginning, Bereshit, in the beginning. So something in your home perhaps has been hidden or shrouded from you. It's going to come to light and you'll have a second chance to start again. Our third letter in the reading is Gimel. And Gimel is a foot or a camel. It's the letter that begins the word Gan, Gan meaning garden. So it reminds us of Gan Eden, the Garden of Eden, again, a beginning time. And Gimel is about moving forward with purpose. It has the letter Nun in it, which looks like this and represents sort of a humility. But at the base of the heel, you'll see that little Yud. And that is the divine spark, propelling forward into action. So there's movement forward that's going to take place, starting perhaps tomorrow with this full moon, this new blue moon that's coming in. Gimel is the letter that rules over the planet Jupiter in the sky. And in Hebrew, the word Jupiter is tzedek, which means justice. So we're moving toward justice at this time. Something's been hidden in your home space or your workspace, and now it's time to move forward with humility, being driven forward by the divine spark toward something just that is coming in. And Jupiter is the largest of all the planets, so it's a big thing. Something very large is coming in. So moving forward, there's forward movement happening here. At the bottom of the circle here, we have the letter Kaf. And this position I'm going to call the root cause. Kaf is the letter that begins the word koach, koach meaning power. It's a hand, palm of a hand. It's said to be sort of like this, the palm of a hand. And it can represent giving and receiving. And so in this context, I'm going to say, it sounds like perhaps you've been giving more than you have the capacity for. And somebody maybe is taking more than they should. And we need to balance that out, the giving and receiving. Somebody is wielding their power over you, and you have to not continue to give more than you have the capacity to give. You need to ask for what you need and receive it with grace, not to refuse help when it's offered to you, particularly divine help, and claim your own power, claim your own strength, koach, giving and receiving, and also being sheltered over by divinity, sheltered over by the Shekhinah, the divine hand of the Holy One. But this is in the bottom of the reading. I'm thinking of it as you're being buoyed up. The hand of the divine has you. She's holding you. And she's carrying you through this difficult time. But don't give away your power. And don't give more than you have the capacity to give. And do call in and receive what it is you're supposed to receive in the situation. As we come up the other side, we have the letter Lamed. Lamed is the letter that begins the word Lev, meaning heart, mind. And it's about discernment. Lev is that concept of we don't just think our thoughts, we feel our thoughts, and we think our feelings as well. The heart and the mind were not so separate back in the ancient times. So Lamed has that sense of knowing, inner knowing, and it's also representative of the intestines in the body. It's the first letter of the word learning and teaching, limud v'lamed. And so we're taking in information and we're digesting it. And we're making a decision about what is the thing that will serve us and what is no longer useful. And I love that Lev The lamed looks like a digestive tract. You've got something coming in, you've got this little center place where it crosses over, and then a place of excretion, which comes out the bottom. Taking that information that we're receiving, and we're discerning what is useful and what is no longer useful. Maybe we're uncovering those secrets in this blue moon so that we know what's true. And then we're making a decision based on that knowing, releasing what no longer serves us, tapping into our inner heart mind, and having a knowing in our guts and our kishkas, what's right and what's wrong. So really listen into your stomach, listen into your heart, and feel it in your body. You'll know what's true and what's not true. And in the upper left corner of this reading, we have the Kuf. Kuf is the letter that begins the word kadosh or kodesh, meaning sacredness or holiness. It's also the first letter of the word kof, meaning monkey. And so it has this sense both of sacredness and animalistic nature. Kuf is the letter that is 100 in Gematria. So it's 10 times 10. 10 is the letter Yud, and Yud is the first letter of the divine name. So it has this sense of an ultimate manifestation of divinity. There are 10 commandments or 10 utterances. There are 10 sephirot or divine emanations. And if you multiply those together, you get a place of sacredness. And sacredness, it means that which is designated for service to divinity. So take this knowledge and this ability to start again as a time to dedicate yourself toward the will of the divine. It will always lead you in a good direction. Kadosh. And pay attention to your animal nature too, your body. Pay attention to your monkey self and your monkey mind. Animals are inherently sacred. And we have to figure out how to balance the sacred and the profane, the glory and the beauty of the divine, as well as the shards that are scattered throughout the universe. The klipa. Klipa also begins with kuf. So we're discerning with our lamed and coming to a place of sacredness, dedicating ourselves to divinity with this second chance that we're coming into right now. I'm going to pull out one more letter for our center to fill in our moon today. Let's see what that wants to tell us as well. And we have Nun. Okay. Nun is the first letter of the word Ness, which means miracle. So a second chance may seem like a miracle to us, but it's also it looks like a figure who is kneeling and bent over. So it has a sense of humility, loyalty. It's about slow movement forward, locomotion. Like I said, the Gimel has that Nun in it. But this is a slow, steady beginning. Some miraculous thing is happening, giving you the opportunity for second chances. So find yourself in humility. Find yourself in a place of contemplation and starting slowly, moving forward with determination toward something that will give you longevity and stable forward movement. So there is something, again, some secret that's being hidden, and the moon is revealing it. This blue moon coming in, the second full moon in a month. We don't usually get that double illumination. We've been shrouded in darkness with Chet, and there's life Chai underneath it. Chet is also the infinity loop, so it has this sense of something that's been going on and on and on and on. And it's been hidden in these secrets and shrouded in darkness. It may have something to do with your home space or workplace or your body itself. Something is coming to light. And we have a second chance here with the bait. It's the number 2. We're starting to move forward toward justice with humility, being propelled forward by divinity. Something is coming to light with that illumination of justice. That the root cause is maybe giving too much and receiving too little, maybe being oppressed, but knowing that you're held up by the divine hand of the Shekhinah, the indwelling presence. That right now it's time to discern, take time to digest the information that's being given to you so that you can feel into your body and your heart, mind, and know what's true. Learn something, and then maybe teach it. And then we have the Kuf saying, dedicate yourself toward sacred purpose. Really listen in to divinity and that holiness. Know that you are of the sacred mind and that you also have that monkey mind, and we have to find that balance between our animal self and our sacred selves. Really tap into both the divine emanations, those parts of us that we can bring into being in our body, and following basic ethics, the 10 utterances, the 10 commandments, and the 10 Sefirot. Multiply those together to find your sacred purpose. And when you do, a miracle will occur, a second chance in humility. Find gratitude. And allow the secrets to be revealed in this moon. Don't ignore them. They're here for you so that you will be able to know better how to be in the world, how to find that holiness, to accept and receive that miracle. So for those of you who chose the moon card from the Dreamtime reading cards, this has been your reading for this blue moon. I hope that you find it useful. Feel free to comment below and let me know whether it resonated with you. And I'll look forward to seeing you here next time. Hello, card number 2. Those of you who chose the second card, looking like this. This particular card comes from the Goddess Dream Oracle by Wendy Andrew, and I will list this in the comments below. This is card number 23, and it's labeled Ebb and Flow. It's really beautiful. I love that it's got at least 2 moons on the card, and the rabbits. Rabbits in the moon, and the sleeping goddess here. I'll read a little bit about it from the book as we look at the card. It says, Moon Lore, Ebb and Flow. Lady Moon sends her hair to you as an intermediary, a link, a thread of light calling you back to your source. She is tangible and yet elusive. Like a dream remembered on waking, she is in this world, but she also runs through the timeless worlds of myth. She communes with the moon and understands her mysterious ways. Lady Moon calls to you also to commune with the moon. Feel her influence in your life as she waxes and wanes. As you begin to resonate with her, you may find a reconnection to your inner being. The cycle of her being forms a pattern in your life. In our world today, we are expected to constantly perform in a high energy way, but nature has a rhythm and pattern that ebbs and flows. We are all part of that natural pattern. Hair comes with a reminder from Lady Moon of her energetic flow. Become attuned to her rhythm, and you may find more harmony and ease in your life. The time of the new moon is a time to be still and reflect on what you would like to manifest during the month ahead. And the full moon indicates a time of high energy. It's a time very powerful. And there's an affirmation. I am receptive to the energetic changes of the lunar cycle. As far as possible, I organize my life to be in harmony with its patterns. So we're going to set this moon card up here at the top of the altarpiece. As any cycle goes through, there is this ebb and flow, as they say in the book. The moon comes and goes. And so there are always second chances, is the first message I'm getting here. So now we're going to pull out some Hebrunes, and we're going to lay them out in a full moon circle, and we'll read and see what your second chance is about this blue moon. At the top we have the letter Resh. To the right we have the letter Lamed. Next is the letter Kaf. At the bottom we have the letter Shin. To the left of that we have Samech. And the upper left we have the letter Tzadi. Okay. So starting at the very top, we have the letter Resh, and Resh is the letter that means Rosh. It means head. Something new is happening, a new beginning. Resh is like Rosh Hashanah or Rosh Chodesh, the newness of a thing. And it's about planting new seeds. It's the binary transformation of seed and barrenness. So we don't always know when we plant a seed what it's going to bring. And we have to plant it anyway. And I think that's the message we're having here, is even though the cycles change and ebb and flow, we still have to plant each spring or each fall, depending on what season you're in and what your weather is like. But new beginnings come and new beginnings go. And so beginning right now is an important thing for you in this time. It's time to begin again. You have a second chance. Cycles are turning. And the Resh is here to say, yes, go, plant a new seed, start again. It's not too late. It's never too late. But in particular, right now is the right time. To the right of that, we have the letter Lamed. And Lamed is the letter that means, it begins the word Lev, which means heart-mind. And the heart-mind were one in ancient times. And, they still are, but we perceive them as two different things. Anatomically, certainly, the mind or the brain is one thing and the heart is another thing. But we do feel things in our gut, right? We feel things in our heart. And that gives us some kind of inner knowing. Lamed is also about planting in some ways. It looks like a seed has been planted, and there's the earth going across and roots going down and a little sprout coming up at the very top there. So we've planted the seed. If you've planted the seed, something is growing. Lamed is the first letter of the words limud velamed, meaning to learn and to teach. And so we're learning something through this. And Lamed is also representative of the intestines in the body. So it's about discernment. We take in food. Our bodies determine what is useful and what is not. And we send the food that is important into our bodies to build and grow. And we release that which is unnecessary or wasteful or toxic out. So as you're planting this new seed, whatever it might be with the Resh, at this new second beginning you need to determine what is of use and what is not of use. Taking in the information, learning what you need to learn, taking in nutrition or spiritual nutrition, and determine what is serving you and what is not. And let go of the things that are not serving you. Really listen to your heart mind, and then you will be able to let go of the things that aren't serving you, as we do with these cycles and these ebbs and flows that are happening with the moon. So pay attention, listen, and learn. In the lower right corner, we have the letter Kaf. And Kaf is the letter that represents the palm of a hand. You can see it looks a little bit like the palm of a hand reaching out. This letter is also the word Koach, begins with Kaf. And Koach and Keter, which are both power words. So lean into your power. Give and receive. Again, ebb and flow. Know when it's right to give and know when it's right to receive. Kaf is the binary transformation of wealth and poverty. And again, things come and things go. Clutching onto things too tightly will make it difficult for you if you don't release things as you need to release. Like I said, give what you can according to your means and receive what you need according to your needs. If somebody offers you something, don't refuse. Allow it to come in. Leave that palm open to receive and to give. Money comes and money goes. Be aware that everything is temporary and all things are changing. And find the strength, find the power that you have within you, and only the things that you can control. Don't try to control other people. Don't oppress others or allow them to oppress you. Control what you can with what you have, but keep an open palm. Allow things to come in and release as needed so that transformation can happen. At the bottom of our reading, we have the letter Shin. Shin is the mother letter of fire. And this is what's at the base of your reading, so I see it as the root. And I love that it's got, 3 flames licking up here. It's the mother letter of fire, and so it's a creation element, but it can also be a destruction element. As we know, fire can be really important to transform things, but it can also be really destructive. So be aware that fire can come and fire can transform, and there's power there, but it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's an incredibly powerful thing. It's the first letter of the word Shekhinah, which is the indwelling feminine divine. And she is the underpinning here in this reading. She's holding you and putting fire to you to inspire you and to give you that spirit that you need to move forward and do the next thing as that transformation occurs. Shin is the first letter of the word Shuva, meaning to return, and the first letter of the word Shini, which means to change. So transformation is very up for you. And the moon is all about transformation, that ebb and flow, that ability to do something anew when things have come to an end. In ancient practices, the slash and burn technique in fields allowed for the seeds to grow. You would slash down the old crops and set them afire, and the ash would nourish the land so that seeds could then grow again. So it may be there may be times of burning. I'm not saying this is a time of burning, but it could be. And if it is, do not fear, do not fret. This is underpinned by the divine indwelling one. And change is coming, and change is good, even if it may appear to be destructive at first. Don't be afraid. Change is important. Shin is also the first letter of the word shalom. Shalom, which is translated as peace very frequently, but in its essence it means wholeness, coming back into a wholeness in harmony with yourself and with the divine and with the land. So trust in the Holy One to provide that sense of wholeness at this time of transformation. Next to that, on the left, we have the letter Samech. Samech is a circle. You can see it looks like the moon up in the sky right now, and it is saying cycles and seasons and change. Sovev is being surrounded by support, but it's also about boundaries, setting up good boundaries for yourself so that you're not harmed when something comes at you in a surprising way. Know that cycles change and seasons turn. The moon and the wheels are always moving. And you need to set up good boundaries for yourself. You can see in the upper left corner of the Samech, there's a little bit of a vestigial thorn. In the Proto-Hebrew, it looked like a thorn. So we're setting up boundaries for ourselves that might have a little bit of a thorny edge to them so that we can keep out what needs to be kept out and keep in what needs to be kept in. Pay attention to what you are protecting. And although cycles and seasons change, set up good boundaries for yourself so that you're safe. We don't want you to be harmed as things change. Samech is the foundation of agitation in the Sefer Yetzirah, the book of creation. So there may be a little bit of agitation to it. either for you or for those for whom you have set boundaries. So be aware that people will rail against boundaries when you set them, but they're very important. This is like a wheel turning, like the moon in the sky transforming. And this last letter we have in the reading so far is Tzadi. And Tzadi is the letter that begins the word tzedek, meaning justice. So something is coming and transforming into a time of justice. And Tzadi is the letter that also begins the word tzedakah. Tzedakah, which means mutual aid. So sometimes it's translated as charity, but I really like to think of it as building community, coming into earth justice, coming into justice within our communities, and setting up, again, support with each other. So lean into that sense of justice. One of the things I love about the tzadi is that it looks a little bit like a bent over letter nun with a yud at its back. And nun is the letter that seems to represent humility, and yud is the first letter of the divine name, the yud he vav he. So with humility and the divinity at our back, we can come to a place of justice. The other thing I love about the tzadi is that it looks a little bit like a tree. You can see that earth at the bottom and the trunk coming up, and then the two branches, and then maybe even fruit at the top. And it's the letter that's affiliated with the month of Shvat. Shvat is the month where we celebrate the birthday of the trees. And it's affiliated with the tribe of Asher, which means happy, but may also be affiliated more anciently with Asherah, the goddess who dwells within the trees. And she exchanges breath with us every time we breathe. So part of our justice, part of our coming into a place of mutual aid, and part of our taking care of the planet is all wrapped up in the tzadi. So as you plant your seeds, remember a great tree can come from it, and that we are responsible for bringing about justice in the world. I'm going to pull out one more letter for the center of our reading and see how it fills in with that blue moon in the sky. And we have the letter Tav. That's beautiful. So Tav is the letter that's the last letter of the alphabet. It is the very final letter. It's a stamp or a seal. Some folks think that the Shin might have been originally the last letter, and that this is like a signature. It's like a signature of the divine stamped onto the final part of the alphabet to say this is complete. So it's about completion. It's about a big ending. Something is coming to an end, but it's a transformation. It rules over the moon in the sky. So we have the full moon right here. It's about, every time something comes to an end, a new beginning comes in, an ebb and flow. So it's a beautiful ending to this reading where we have the full moon in the sky, knowing that it will transform every month, as it does every month to the fullness, in some months, twice. So we get a second chance. Tav is the binary transformation of sovereignty and slavery. So find your sovereignty, find your power with the koach, find your ability to not be enslaved to the difficult times, but know that transformation happens. The moon in the sky changes, and Tav is also affiliated with Friday in the week, which is the day I'm making this reading, the day that we go into Shabbat, which also happens every week, and we can count on that ability to rest. So Tav is here in the center, saying completion and regeneration, renewal. Something is happening again. So for those of you who chose the moon lore card with ebb and flow, plant your seeds now. Allow them to grow with discernment. Come into your power, give what you can, receive what you need. Know that the divine Shekhinah is beneath this, inspiring you with her fire. And that even though fire can be a destructive force, it is also a restorative force. And surround yourself. Know that the wheels are turning and that is natural and normal, but set up good boundaries so that you're protected. Lean toward justice. Lean toward that exchange with others in the community, with the trees itself, with the planet. And then transformation happens. The ending comes, but a new beginning starts again. It's a beautiful reading for the blue moon and your second chance. We always have second chances, and third and fourth and fifth chances. And this month, that blue moon is telling us, lean into that second chance, plant those seeds. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, you can leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and I will look forward to seeing you here next time. Hello, pile number 3. This is your card. It is from the Mystical Shaman Oracle. And I'll post the link, or at least the name of this in the comments below. I love this card because it's got all the phases of the moon and this beautiful night sky dress on a goddess-like woman. It's number 37 in this deck. And I'm going to read a little bit about it from the book, The Essence. Every 28 days, the moon manifests a steady progression from darkness to light, then back again. This phenomenon in our skies has a powerful impact on our human psyches. It offers us the certainty that after periods of emptiness and darkness, there is a light waiting so we can be reborn into a new phase. This calls to mind a Native African prayer to the moon. May our lives be renewed as yours is, which is interesting because that's also the blessing over the new moon in Hebrew. The moon also has a strong influence on the ebb and flow of waters on the earth. The same power in turn affects human feelings and emotions and mirrors their rising from or hiding back into the unconscious. The invitation. The moon spends equal time in the dark as it does in the light of the sun. And now it comes to remind you of this balance. Have you been too focused on outer achievements, productivity, or social engagements? Or have you spent too much time hidden from the outer world, not wanting to interact or show your face? Meditate on the significance of the moon's cycle and let it gently guide you out of your bottomless depths. Head back to the world of outer expression and connection with others. The medicine. This card calls you to go on a journey of renewal, just like the moon does every month, so you can get unstuck, whether from a specific situation or life in general. For this, you need to make time to be with yourself without distractions of modern society, and have the courage to look at the unwanted or unembraced parts of your being until you arrive at a place of resolution. Shamanic lore explains that the finest treasures of humanity are hidden where people are most afraid to go. Number 37 in this deck. Again, 3 and 7. Add together, you get 10. And so it brings us back to the 10, the one, the oneness of the divine. I'm going to set the card up here. And the moon, the moon is, again, transformative. It's transformation. And so we are talking about second chances in this blue moon that we're in. And our second chance may be just, again, that transformation, that rolling from darkness to light, that hiding ourselves and revealing ourselves. So we're going to pull out some Hebrunes today. I'm going to do it in a circular pattern like the full moon. And we'll see what they have to tell us. At the top, we have the letter Bet. To the right of that, the letter Kaf. The lower right, we have the letter He. At the bottom, we have the letter Tet. In the lower left, we have the letter Pe. And in the upper left, the letter Mem. Nice. Okay. So, we're talking about our second chances here. with the moon, that transformation cycle, light and darkness. In the top, we're starting with the letter Bet, and Bet is the letter that means house or home. It could mean our bodies, it could mean wherever it is we're dwelling. And in this reading, what I love about Bet is that it's the number 2. So we have 2 moons, 2 full moons in this month. We're getting a second chance. Bet is the second letter of the alphabet, but it is the first letter of Torah. So even though it came in second, it gets to be first. And the word that begins Torah is Bereshit, in the beginning. So new beginnings coming in, as always, but second chances in particular. It's about the transformation between life and death. So we have an ability to regenerate whatever seems to be dying in our lives. We can bring that back to life. And that which is alive will die, as always. So being aware that at this time of the blue moon, a new beginning is coming in. We have a second chance, and that we can claim life. The bait is the mouth in the body. So maybe it's something we're having to do with nourishing ourselves, nourishing our bodies, or speaking our truth, speaking what we'd like to see into existence. Bereshit is famously the word is translated to Genesis, and it means new beginnings, but the world and the universe was created through speech. So relying on that power that we have to say what we'd like to see in the world, to really, for this second chance that we have coming in, let's speak our truth and speak aloud what we'd like to see, being very specific about what that would be. Use our voice to create our reality. So Beit is at the top, and to the right of that we have the letter Kaf. And Kaf is the letter that means power, Koach. Also Keter, which is a crown. And so sovereignty is wrapped up in this letter, power and sovereignty, as well as wealth and poverty. It's the binary transformation of wealth and poverty. It's said to look like a palm of a hand, giving and receiving. So it's about taking in what we need to receive, as well as giving away that which we have to give to others. It's about being supported by the hand of the divine, the Shekhinah, and being sheltered over also by the hand of the divine. It's a covering. So in the fall, during Sukkot, we build these little huts out in the yard, and what goes on top is something called schach, and it has 2 kafs in it, and it means to be sheltered, to be covered over, to be sheltered from the sun. And Kaf is the sun in the sky. In the Sefer Yetzirah, it's connected with the sun in the sky. So the sun can be very bright, but it illuminates the moon. And we need to be able to shelter from it when it is too harsh for us. Unlike the full moon, which we can stand and bathe in the moonlight all the day and all the night. We can't do it in the day. Well, sometimes in the day. But regardless, this is the sun. And so our second chance may have to do with claiming our power, holding on to that which is ours, but releasing and giving away when we are asked to give. Because it's an open palm. It's not a tight-fisted hand. It's about giving and receiving. So our second chances might have to do with giving away something that is being asked of us, to be receiving what is being given to us without resisting. So at our new beginning here, let that sunshine illuminate the moon in such a way that you'll know what is the right thing to do in this moment. Below that, we have the letter He. And the letter He is the first letter of the word Hineni. Hineni meaning, here I am, ready and available for service. When the divine calls your name in Torah, the appropriate answer is Hineni, here I am. Before you even know what you're being asked to do, show up. It's the number 5 in Gematria, so it has the sense of artisanship, using your hands, the 5 fingers on your hands to make something. It's the sense of sight also in the Sefer Yetzirah. So being able to see clearly what it is you're supposed to do. But we may be called before we know what that thing is. So when you hear a call, when you feel a pull, say, I'm here, I'm ready, and then listen. Listen to the next thing. I love that He is 2 of the 4 letters of the divine name, the Yud He Vav He, which can be seen as the past, present, and future tense of the verb to be. And He is in there twice, which says to me that showing up and being present is half of the becoming. Half of becoming is just being there and waiting and listening and being available and willing to do what you're being called to do. So show up, be there, look around and see what you can see. Use your fingers and hands to make what you're being called to make. And maybe that's what's going on right now. You have a new beginning, you're receiving your power, and you're being called on to make something. Listen, answer the call, make the thing. At the bottom of our reading, we have the letter Tet, and that is the letter that means a cup or a container of some kind. It's often seen as a womb space. It's the number 9, so it can refer to that 9 months of pregnancy in the human body. It's a container that holds goodness. Tov. Tov is the word that means good, and it starts with the letter Tet. I also love that Tet looks like a snake, a little bit like the head of the snake, and its tail curves around. Transformation, gestation, waiting for something to be born, but allowing that transformation to happen, knowing that there is goodness within it. There's some kind of container here that is holding goodness, and the divine transformation is happening. In very ancient times, the snake was a symbol of the goddess. So it's some kind of transformation and holding that sense of pregnancy, gestation. You're being asked to create something. So allow that creation to take place. Allow that time of gestation to happen in your body, in your life, in your creative space, whatever that is, so that the transformation can come forth and a newness can come out. The tribe of Simeon is affiliated with the letter Tet, which is about hearing. So listen. Again, we're looking with the He and we're listening with the Tet. Look and listen and wait and hear and see what comes forward. That 9-ness, that 9 months of pregnancy, maybe the 9 shofar blasts that happen at Rosh Hashanah, which are calling in something new, a new year, a second chance. Something good is coming, and it's at the base of your reading, so it's upholding the rest of this, which I love. To the left of that, we have the letter Pe, which is the mouth of the divine in this case. The bait is also representative of our mouth, but this is the mouth of the divine, speaking creation into existence. And it is said that the divine called forth the universe with words. And you can see, I'm going to hold this up here, you can see that the bait fits inside the Pe, that word Breshit is coming out of the mouth of the divine. Pe is the number 80 in Gematria, so it has this infinity symbol of the 8 times 10, so it's an ultimate manifestation of the infinite, and it's a spiral. And so for me, that says it's about time, right? That time is spiralinear. And you can see that even in the card above here, the moon, that time goes round and round, and all the moon changes its cycles. It's always coming back into fullness. And so our second chance in this case may be, again, about speaking what you would like to see into creation. Use your words to create the existence you would like to see. Know that the divine is here supporting you in this, the infinite one. And that it will take time. That time is wrapped up in this letter. Pa'am is the word for time. And so time may be necessary. That gestation period may be necessary for the creation to come out. But continue to speak what you'd like to see, and not what you don't want. So Pe is the binary transformation of grace and ugliness in the Sefer Yetzirah. So beauty and ugliness, but speak words of beauty and truth. Speak what you would like to see, and don't curse. Bless instead of cursing. Be grateful for second chances. And create your reality with words. Follow that labyrinth of the pay toward whatever it is you are creating. And trust in the Infinite One who is here supporting you in that. And we have the letter Mem above us. Mem is the other womb space. It's the mother letter of water. So it's a gestation through amniotic fluid. And it's that container also with the hole at the bottom this time. Mem is the number 40 in Gematria. So 40 days on the mountaintop, 40 years in the wilderness. The 40 days and 40 nights of rain in the Ark of Noah, which is like another womb space. These symbols of water and of gestation are wrapped up in the Mem. And a creation letter of walking through the Red Sea toward birth. Something is gestating in you. It's really clear. It may take time. It may take 9 months. It may take 40 days, 40 weeks. It may take 40 days. We don't know. But something is gestating, and you are in a place of creativity. Your second chance is to create something new. And we got in here twice. I love that we have 2 womb spaces and 2 mouth letters, that we are speaking into existence and letting that gestation happen, claiming our power and sitting in the ability to receive our marching orders. I'm going to pull out one more letter to fill in our full moon today, and let's see what the last message is for you. And we have the letter Resh. Resh is a new beginning. Again, Resh, Rosh, head, Rosh Hashanah, the new year, Rosh Chodesh, the new month. It's about planting a seed. And Resh is the binary transformation of seed and barrenness in the Sefer Yetzirah. So we plant a seed. We don't know whether it's going to happen. We don't know whether it's going to grow or whether it's going to die. But we have to plant it nonetheless. A new beginning has to come in. And it comes with humility. It's a bowed head. It's bending over and giving some sense of humility in order to give that up to the divine. So a new beginning is coming in. The head is happening. Maybe we're using our intellect as well, but mostly it's about heading out like a new baby into the world. We've got these, again, 2 womb spaces in the head that comes forth from it as we speak into creation, what we'd like to see in the world, claiming our power, showing up and saying, here I am, ready and available for service. It's a beautiful reading for you, for your second chance to create something new. Again, you may need to wait, you may need to watch and listen, and just allow that birthing to happen. Beautiful reading. So for those of you who chose the moon card from the Mystical Shaman Oracle, this has been your reading for the blue moon. I hope you liked it. If you did, you can like and subscribe. You can write a comment below if you'd like, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Hello, card number 4, people. Those of you who chose this beautiful card. This is from the 8-At Netivot Wisdom Oracle by Kohenet Ketzira Hamagalit. And this particular card is the Baalat Ov, the Shamaness. It says at the top, decipher the ways of the universe. And she's standing there before this beautiful blue moon, the Baalat Ov, often seen as the witch in the Torah. But the Baalat means master, the feminine form of the word master, and Ov could be seen as the well of ancestors. Ov could be Av, meaning fathers. Ancestors, I'm going to say. So, Baalat Ov, she's the shamaness. And I'm going to read a little bit from the book by Ketzira to give us an idea of what she has in mind. This is the vessel card from this particular suit. decipher the ways of the universe. Vessels of the Baalat Ov are creators of portals that connect the worlds and channel the subtle energies that some call magic. They embrace moments of power and liminality that enhance the ability to understand and work with the forces of nature and the unseen world. They know that what happens in one world can impact all the worlds, as above, so below, and claim the ancestral inheritance of working between worlds. In 1 Samuel 28:7, the witch of Endor is actually called a Baalat Ov. In the story, King Saul seeks her out for her skills after attempting to dream interpretation and divination himself, even though he himself has criminalized her practices. It's a beautiful card, and it's a beautiful concept of second chances. In the story, in Torah, King Saul has outlawed witchcraft. It's impacting his ability to be more powerful. But when he cannot claim his own power in dream divination and other forms of divination, he goes and seeks her out, finds the Baalat Ov, and asks her to help him in what he seeks. So she has a second chance. And I wish I could say Saul had a second chance, but unfortunately Saul was not so lucky. But the Baalat is here, and she is deciphering the ways of the universe, and we have the ability to decipher those as well. So let's see what our reading is with the blue moon here, with our second chance, with the Baalat Ov. I'm going to set her up at the top of the altarpiece so she can watch over. We're going to lay down letters in the form of a circle representing the full moon. So at the top of our reading, we have the Ayin. To the right of that, we have the Lamed. Just below that, we have Gimel. At the bottom, we have Zayin. To the left of that, we have Resh. And above the Resh, we have Kuf. Okay. All right, starting at the top, we have the letter Ayin. And the letter Ayin in Hebrew means eye. So it's about seeing, being able to see our way forward. It looks a little bit like an eye. If you turn it this way, it looks like one of those winged eye makeup tutorials. And it's about being able to see our way forward and vision in general, as well as being watched over by the divine. So as we move forward, we need to keep our eyes open. We need to trust that we are being watched over and protected. And the other thing about Ayin significantly is that it's the number 70 in Gematria. And 7 is the number of days of creation. 10 times 7 is Ayin. So we have this kind of ultimate manifestation of completion. Something has come to an end. And it feels like the end is here. And we have a second chance. And that's what we need to keep our eyes open and watch for. I love that Ayin is the foundation of laughter in the Sefer Yetzirah, the version that I read, which is Return to the Place by Rabbi Jill Hammer. Laughter. So as something comes to an end, maybe we can look back on it and laugh. We can see maybe the folly of our actions, or we can laugh at the big joke of whatever it was that we were attempting. When we get to the end, hopefully we'll be able to laugh. But we are watching right now. We're looking. We're, even though an ending seems to be here, we are still keeping our eyes open and seeing what the message is that we learned and what our second chance is. Ayin is also affiliated with the tribe of Dan in the Sefer Yetzirah, and Dan means judgment. So we are able to assess. We look back at what has come before, the things that has come to an end, and we assess and we judge how things went. It could be perceived that this is like a scales also. We have those two branches coming up that we're discerning which way does the balance fall on the thing that we've done. We're keeping our eyes open, like the Shamaness, being able to decipher the ways of the universe and finding our way forward into our next second chance. To the right of that, we have the Lamed. Lamed is the letter that means, that represents the heart mind, Lev, in the body, in our heart. It's less of a body part than it is a sense, a knowing ability to, again, decipher and discern something. Lamed is the letter that means to learn and to teach, limud velamed. So we are taking in information, we are watching carefully, and we are discerning what is useful and what is not, releasing that which is not useful back into the earth or into the universe. Lamed represents the intestines in the body. And to that end, I really love that it looks a little bit like a digestive tract with food coming in at the top, going across and then down and out, that which is no longer necessary. And that was my random chime that says, yes, the Shekhinah is here, and giving an exclamation point on that explanation. So we are discerning. We are taking in information. We're taking in food. We're taking in spiritual advice and information, and we're discerning what will serve us in this moment. What is going to be the most useful for us in this transformation and new beginning. The Lamed is affiliated with the tribe of Ephraim, the one who was elevated above his brother, one of the sons of Joseph. So it's also about reaching up with hope. We may be planting ourselves in the earth and reaching up toward the sky as we come into the second chance. Ephraim was the second son, and so he was elevated above, and he had a second chance, just like Jacob and Esau and Yitzhak and Ishmael. The second son often is given the first place. So we have a second chance. Even though things may have seemed grim, we get to discern and pay attention and know what the right thing is to do next. And doing comes next because we have the letter Gimel. Gimel is a foot or a camel stepping forward into action. It looks a little bit like a foot, looks a little bit like a boot. But if you take the heel off the boot, it looks like a nun, which is the letter that means loyalty or humility. So we come into a place of humility, but then we're spurred forward by the yud, the little heel on the boot, which is the divine propelling us into action. The Gimel is about walking forward. It's the binary transformation between peace and evil, which is shalom, and ra, which is, shalom is wholeness. So it's more about wholeness and brokenness. So we're trying to determine how to step forward, although we've had some wholeness, maybe some wickedness that has pursued us. And so now we're stepping forward, we're moving forward toward justice. Gimel rules over the planet Jupiter in the sky, and in Hebrew, Jupiter is the word tzedek. Tzedek meaning justice. So we're stepping forward to bring about justice. Maybe after we have been maligned, maybe we are the Baalat Ov and we've been told we cannot practice, we're not allowed to do the thing that we do so well. And now we have to step forward toward justice after sitting and watching and after listening to our heart. We're moving forward now toward justice for this second chance to step forward into something more peaceful, something more whole in our lives. At the bottom of our reading, we have the letter Zayin. And Zayin is the letter that is the number 7 in Gematria, so it means the seventh day of creation, the Shabbat bride, Shabbat itself. Zayin is a sword or a scepter. So it's all about sovereignty. It's about claiming our own sovereignty, grasping that scepter, grasping that sword, and saying, I am whole, I am valuable, I am worthy. The Baalat Ov had to do that for herself, although she could not do it publicly. You can still grab your own sovereignty in this case. It's all about magic. The number 7 is considered a lucky number or a magical number, and the day of Shabbat is about rest, so it's another ending. 7 and 70 at the top. We have 70 at the top and 7 at the bottom. Completion. And not completion as in an ending, but completion as in this job is done, now we can rest. Resting, like Shabbat has come at the end of the creation of the world, and the divine rested on the 7th day, not because they were tired, but because divinity has proclaimed that rest is a divine act, and that we are holy people and we get to rest as well. So claim your sovereignty and take time to rest. Take time to regain your power and your strength while you are watching, while you're taking the time to discern things. Hold on to your sovereignty and take a well-deserved rest to regain, because we need to rest before we can rise. So Zayin at the bottom here is saying, claim your power and rest. And then to the left of that we have Resh, which means Rosh, meaning head. So we're heading out. It's Rosh Hashanah means new year, Rosh Chodesh means new month. And so we're using our head and we are pushing our way out in a sort of new birth, starting again. Resh is the binary transformation of seed and barrenness. We have to plant a seed in order to find out whether it's going to gestate or not. We can't know that if we don't plant it. So we have to start again. We have to plant that seed and trust that we will see the new growth that comes. Planet Mercury is affiliated with Resh, so communication may be involved. We may be receiving a communication soon that will help us understand what the next steps will be. That we should listen, in addition to watching. We're listening with our ears. The right ear in the body is affiliated with Resh, so we're listening to find out what our next steps are. But a new beginning definitely coming in here right after we've rested. So we've rested, and now we're beginning again. And then we have the letter Kuf. And Kuf is the letter that begins the word Kadosh, or Kodesh, meaning sacredness. Sacredness, that which is designated for service to the divine. So it's not necessarily something is inherently holy, but we can designate it as holy. You might have a vessel or a tool or a spoon or something that is just your regular everyday spoon, but if we dedicate it and say this vessel is for divine service, then it becomes kadosh, and we can do that to ourselves. We can designate ourselves for holiness, and that's part of our admonition here, is that even though somebody might have rejected us and said what you're doing is evil or wicked, we know what we're doing. We have the wand. We have the power. This looks a little bit like a wand with a smoke coming off of it. I love that. It's sort of like the magic. We are claiming that wand, that sovereign scepter, and making it magic, and saying, this is for divine service. I don't care what you think it's for. I know what it's for. It is for holiness. It is for sacredness. Kuf is also affiliated with the foundation of sleep in the Sefer Yetzirah. So again, rest so that you can claim that sovereignty. I love that we have rest here twice in the Zayin and in the Kuf, which are both like magic wands to me. So Kuf is also the number 100 in Gematria. So we're claiming the 10 Sefirot, the divine emanations that are coming down from above into our own practice, into our own bodies. And coming to that 10 times 10, 10 Sefirot times 10 commandments or 10 utterances, using the foundations that we need to create holiness in our life. So this is very lovely, that we're getting our second chance by reclaiming our power in this situation. I'm going to pull out one more letter for the center of our full moon circle here. Let me get one more. One more message for the blue moon. Second chance. And we have the letter Bet. Nice. The letter Bet is the letter that means home, and it's the number 2. So it goes right back to that second chance. Bet is the second letter of the alphabet, but it is the first letter of Torah. So even though it came in second, it gets to be first. Bereshit, in the beginning, starting again. Another new beginning letter, just like the Resh, Bereshit. And so we are starting over. We are coming into our place of dwelling. We're becoming comfortable in our own bodies. We're becoming safe in our own homes, finding our place, finding our house, and starting again. Bet is the binary transformation of life and death. So we are coming back to life after whatever suppression or oppression we have had. It's the planet Saturn in the sky, which also refers to Shabbat in the week. So again, rest. Find a place of rest so that you can rise again. I love that we have rest here 3 times now. Bet does work with Shabbat rest in the week, and the mouth in the body. So we're using our words to create our reality by speaking out. I think this is a beautiful reading for those of you who chose the Baalat Ov. We're seeing our situation, even though things may have come to an end, discerning, learning, and teaching, perhaps planting ourselves in the earth and reaching up with hope toward a new beginning, stepping forward toward justice in humility, grabbing the scepter and the sword, and taking rest in refuge in the Shekhinah, the divine indwelling presence, stepping forward to a new beginning with Resh, and finding whether that seed will grow, and designating ourselves toward service to the divine with our other wand, finding a place of refuge in divinity, making sure that we know what we're doing and for whom we're doing it, and coming back to Bet, the beginning, getting our second chance during this blue moon, starting again, speaking what we'd like to see, using our words as power, and creating our reality. Beautiful reading. Happy blue moon. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, you can like and subscribe below. Please leave me a comment if you have any comments. I would love to hear from you. And I'll look forward to seeing you here next time.